Hi, welcome to Obox. In the previous tutorial, we have discussed about creating the home page and navigating to the details page, passing the data from the home page to the details page using a data service. Moving on with our tutorial. In the details page, we'll be creating an Ion Fab button. Go to the Ionic documentation. Navigate to menu, click on Ion Fab. The Ion Fab is a container element that can contain one or more Fab buttons. We'll be creating a simple Ion Fab button in our application. Now, in the details page, let's add the Ion Fab. Set the slot as fixed. For vertical, set to bottom. For horizontal, put the value end. Create the Ion Fab button. Add an icon. Add a click event on the button called Add to List. Create the method Add to List. Click on Save. Now let's test the application. Click on the Add button. Enter a list title and description. Clicking on the list goes to the details page. We now have an Ion Fab button at the lower right of our screen. Let's now put a logic to the Add to List method in the details page. We'll be using an alert input. Import the alert controller in the constructor. Inside the method, create the alert. Use an asynchronous method. For the message, let's put add new. For the inputs, add one input called item with a placeholder new item. And for the buttons, create two buttons, cancel and add. Let's create a handler for the button add. Access the global data structure. In the items array, add the new item. Let's also update the data service glist. Update the specific index selected by the user. Access the array items and assign the global data array. Call this update glist inside the handler of the add button. Now in the HTML, create the items list added by the user using the Ion list. In the Ion item, loop through the items using Angular's ng4. Add an Ion label to display the item using Angular's curly brackets. We'll also add two icons, the edit icon and the trash or delete icon. For the edit icon, use color primary and place in the slot end. Enter create outline for the icon name. For the size, use medium. Add the click events for both icons. For the trash icon, use color danger. This is a red color. Put it in the end slot. For the icon name, enter trash. For the size, use medium. Create the methods edit item and delete item, passing the item from the loop. In the add to list method, once the alert object has been created, call the present method. Now test it. Create the list. Click on the Ion Fab. Add a sample item. Now you have the buttons edit and delete. Add a new item. Moving on, when the user clicks on the edit button, display a pop-up. But first, Let's create a reusable method to display the pop-up, which will be used when creating a new item, as well as editing an existing item on the list. Create an asynchronous show item pop-up. The method will have the parameters, title as string, a button text as string, an option item if item already exists on the list, and an index as number. Move the alert logic to the show item pop-up. For the title, pass it to the message. When editing an existing item, pass the importing item to the value field. Pass the button text. In the handler, if the index doesn't have a value, it means it's a new item on the list. If it's an existing item, edit the global data items using the index. Now call the method showItemPopUp inside the add to list method. Passing the title and as well as the button text, add. In the edit method, use the reusable method showItemPopUp, passing the edit as the title and update as the button text, passing as well the item being edited. In order to know which row is being edited by the user, let's use the index from Angular. In the ng_for, declare a variable I and pass the index. Pass the index to the methods editItem and deleteItem. Add the index in the imports type number. Pass the index to the showItem pop-up. For the deleteItem method, let's use the splice method of the array. Access the items, call splice, and pass the index that is currently being deleted. For the count, pass 1 since we're deleting only one row. Call the update glist. Now let's try the application. Click on Save. Add a new list. Now when you click on the IonFab Add button, the pop-up is shown with a title Add New Item and a button called Add. Add a new item. When you now click on the Edit button, the same pop-up appears with an Edit Item title and a button update. The value of the existing array item is also shown. Click on Update, and the item is now updated on our list. Click on the Delete button. The item is now deleted from the list. Stay tuned for the next part of our tutorial.